Hi everyone, I'm James.
And I'm Will, and you're watching Where To Next,
where you get to help us decide where to next. We're just getting our day started here at the Bay Hotel in Singapore.
and we just had breakfast downstairs, which was delicious and a great way to start our day. But James, where to first?
Well, I thought it was only fitting that we kickstart our Singapore adventure by visiting the historic and famous Raffles Hotel, home of the Singapore Sling.
All right, let's go.
Arrived at our destination, the Raffles Hotel, and unfortunately it's undergoing restoration until late 2018, so the original Singapore Sling experience is next door at the pop-up Long Bar. The Singapore Sling is widely regarded as the national drink of the country and was first created in 1915 at Raffles Singapore by bartender Nam Tong Boon. During our experience, our bartender told us that back during colonial Singapore, the Raffles Hotel Long Bar was the gathering place for businessmen, and it wasn't proper etiquette for women to be drinking alcohol in public. So bartender Nam Tong Boon disguised an alcoholic beverage to make it a little bit more feminine, which created the Singapore Sling. And now the Singapore Sling is a signature cocktail served all around the world. Just received my Singapore Sling and I'm really excited to try it for the very first time. Whoa. We just finished our Singapore Sling experience and what did you think?
Oh, I loved it. It's funny because in college, I used to make this drink all the time, but I never knew what it was called. Now I know it's called the Singapore Sling. But the real question is, where to next? Poll on our social media for you to help us decide where to next.
And one of those options was the Buddha Tooth Relic Temple, which is right behind us, and the other was experiencing Singapore dishes at a hawker center in Chinatown. According to our social media results on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, the majority of you guys voted for us to experience some Singapore dishes.
Which is great, because I'm really hungry.
We are at the Maxwell Hawker Center, which is actually a walking distance from Chinatown. And luckily we were able to find some Singapore dishes.
The first one that I think we're gonna try is the Hainanese chicken. It's pretty much
chicken and rice. It's good, it's a pretty plain dish. There's not a lot of flavor to it. The chicken itself is just very juicy and tender, and it's not bad. The next dish we got were satay skewers, which I feel like is actually a pretty common dish. Hopefully it's not too spicy. I don't do well with spicy.
Oh yeah. That's good.
This is a snack. The last dish we're gonna try is char kway tiao. Pretty much I feel like their rendition of stir-fried noodles. What does it taste like?
It's like a smoky pad thai.
Okay.
It's like barbecue-y, smoky. It's not my favorite thing I've ever had, but it's pretty good.
Nice and full of flavor and hearty. Great, yes, hearty. And I love a good noodle.
Although we didn't find barbecue stingray at this hawker center, we're on a mission to go and find it.
Because let's be honest, that's the real reason you voted for this. You want to see us eat some barbecue stingray.
I just wanna get done with you.
It's the moment you have all been waiting for. It's the reason why you voted for this in our poll. Barbecue stingray. I'm gonna tell you right now, it doesn't smell that appetizing. Let's do this. I don't really care for seafood. If you know me, I stay away from it. I think this might be the exception. They were not lying when they said this was worth trying when visiting Singapore. That is awesome. James is a liar. You haven't even tried it yet.
It's actually pretty good.
I told you.
If I could compare it to other seafood, I would say like a smoky crab.
It's pretty good.
I'm glad that we tried it.
I'm glad we were able to come to Lao Khao Sat. It's one of the more touristy hawker centers here in Singapore, and ultimately we got to try barbecue stingray. Now that I have a full stomach, where to next, Will?
Well, if you've ever seen photos of Singapore, you've probably seen Gardens by the Bay and the beautiful trees. So that's where we're gonna head to now. We just arrived at Gardens by the Bay, and I have definitely been looking forward to coming here ever since we started planning our trip to Singapore. Their goal is to not make you think that there is a garden inside of a city, but that there is a city inside of a garden, and they definitely accomplished that goal. Most of the gardens here at Gardens by the Bay are free to walk around, but there are 3 ticketed attractions, one of which is the OCBC Skywalk, which we are at right now. The cloud forest allows you to walk through the different layers of vegetation that play an integral part in the water cycle of a cloud forest. The last ticketed attraction is the Flower Dome, which features flower gardens from different parts of the world. I loved walking into the Flower Dome for the first time because I love flowers and it smells amazing in here. We just spent 4 hours here at Gardens by the Bay. James, what did you think?
Oh my gosh, I loved it. I can definitely see why this is one of the top places to visit when you come to Singapore. The Skyway was a little unnerving because I don't like heights. The Cloud Forest was very educational to learn a lot about the ecosystem. Last but not least, the Flower Dome heightens your senses, and it's just an experience you won't forget.
When you come to Gardens by the Bay, I highly recommend you come later in the evening so that you can see the light show at 7:45 or 8:45.
It's super fun. It makes you feel like you're at Disney, and they have a lot of fun music that goes along with it. But I don't know about you, I'm ready to go get a drink, so let's go to the LGBT areas and explore the nightlife. Before we enjoy a drink at Tantric, Singapore's #1 gay bar, we want to share 3 tips for when you travel to Singapore. Number 1, don't litter. You can get a pretty hefty fine, and it's the way they keep their streets clean.
And number 2, plan out your day, because a lot of the activities that you would do are not near each other, which means you would be walking a lot.
And tip number 3, take full advantage of public transportation. The MRT is very easy to use, and the way to do that is by purchasing a Singapore Tourist Pass.
Thank you so much for traveling with us today and helping us decide where to next.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up.
Bye everybody.